What's up, guys? Finally, he is available after a long wait. Jason Voorhees is now downloadable and playable. Well, for those who have the combat pack, anyway. But yeah, I am a huge fan of Friday the 13th. I have every movie. I even have a like 800 page massive book on like everything from the first Friday the 13th, behind the scenes all the way up to Freddy vs. Jason. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Jason's X-Ray, his fatalities, his brutalities, and his ending story, which I find is really hilarious. So, starting with his X-Ray. His X-Ray is really kind of wonky because you activate it and he slowly walks towards the opponent, so I would suggest either getting in really close and activating it, or I'll get into more of it down the line. To do his kill for mother technique, or fatality, you have to be at mid-range and press down, forward, triangle. And I think this one is really cool. It's kind of a callback to I think it's the sixth movie, where essentially, well, not really, because the guy is kind of walking on his hands when Jason comes up behind him and pretty much slits him like crotch to head. But I'm pretty sure the next one will be pretty recognizable. Okay, to do the sleeping bag killer fatality, you have to be at mid-range and press down, back, forward, circle, and R2. So you gotta make sure you have at least one bar filled on your special meter. And this one is by far the most iconic of Jason kills. Next to, like, a technique in Jason Goes to Hell that I like to call the pug. It's pretty hilarious. Okay, now for brutalities. Brutality 1 can be done in any formation. The thing is, Jason has to win both rounds. Pretty easy to do. He's a pretty easy guy to get around. The final hit has to come from the shoulder charge, which is done by pressing back, forward, X, and R2. So, just go, you have to make sure that you have at least one bar saved up, and then back, forward, X, R2, and that's basically it. Her head pops off. Okay, Brutality 2. When I was said I would get into it later, okay, when you activate Jason's X-Ray, he walks slowly like you saw there, and basically grabs the opponent by the throat. Now that's the final hit for this brutality. That's all you need to do. Okay, Brutality 3. It has to be done in the slasher formation. Now, like a lot of other MKX characters, you have to hold up during the final hit. And the final hit comes from Bloodlust, which is done by pressing down, forward, square, and R2. And it's just like that. Pretty fucking awesome. Okay, Brutality 4 is only done in the Relentless variation. Now, you must have Pursuit activated. To activate Pursuit, you have to push down, down, and X, and the final hit is from the Crippler, which is down, back, forwards, triangle, and R2. Pretty much ragdolled him there. Now, the final brutality is done in the Unstoppable variation. This is a little difficult for me to figure out at first. So Jason needs to be resurrected in the final round. So what that basically means is Jason has to win the first round. Okay, and then Jason has to lose the second round. And then During the second round, the opponent has to basically beat Jason again, but if you have a full energy meter, like if you have your X-ray ready to go, Jason will be resurrected with a small amount of health, which then you have to win the match by using the backbreaker, which is done by pressing down, back, forward, square, and R2. So yeah, definitely the most difficult one to pull off at first, until you actually know what you're doing. But as you saw there, Jason was basically defeated, but got a little bit of a resurrection, just to show you just how fucking badass he really is. But he doesn't get like a full health regain. He just gets like maybe 25% of his health back, depending on how many bars you have saved up in your X-ray or your specialty bar. Yeah, what else can I say about Jason? He's not a bad character. You know, his run speed is shit, but you know, it's the character based off of it's the Jason Voorhees based off the 2009 remake. Which if you haven't seen that movie, I would highly suggest you watch that if you're into like gore, because it's like Jason's a lot smarter in the movie. Some of the shit he does in the movie is actually kind of clever and funny. But speaking of funny, enjoy his end movie, and I shall see you guys later.
Like Scorpion, Jason Voorhees was a revenant. A vengeful spirit returned to life. Hundreds had fallen victim to his bloodlust. Liu Kang, now ruler of the Netherrealm, took notice. An immortal killer like Jason would be useful in his plans for conquest. He drew Jason into the Netherrealm and offered him an endless bounty of slaughter in return for his allegiance. Jason's simple reply was to destroy Liu Kang.
Jason wins.